Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today on Collection Lessons, I want to talk about the business. Number 3. And this is part of the Collection Lessons series. Anything I say on this channel is not anything advice. Let's get started. So the business series, that is in my part of Collection of Lessons series, is when I talk about a business model in a different sense to help expose businesses and what they actually look like. Because a lot of things are the norm, in quotes. So, now let me give you this business idea. So the business idea that I propose or have here, right? It starts with me, okay? So with me, I'm this person. I am amazing. Look at me. And I'm gonna make, let's say, $1,000, right? Now with this $1,000, it's just a float. It's just sitting, in under my mattress, let's say, or wherever. And then I had this great idea. Why not ask a couple of my friends, let's say like a couple friends or so, and get the word out that, hey, Chris has got $1,000. And I say, hey, I can make you 0.5% on your cash. Okay? Let's say I can make that for you, right? So I say, hey, friend number 1 and friend number 2 and maybe my family members or whoever. And I say, I can make this money on your cash. Why not give me your cash? And I can make you that, and then it'll increase how much I have under my mattress, and it's great. So then, I get, I don't know, a friend or 2 or 3 or however many people. Let's say 2 in this case, just to make it simple. And there's $1,000 that they have, and this person's like, well, I got more money. I've been working my butt off for like all my life, and I got 5,000. I would love, 0.5% on 5,000, right? So I take all their money, and it's under my mattress. Now I got 1,000 here, 1,000 here, and then 5,000 here. I'm at 7,000, right? And then I got, let's say this is me pooling money and such, and it's like, well, where does the money come from? Where's the 0.5? Well, let's take the 7,000, and I'm gonna, find some other guy that's like, hey man, I'm going through a tough time. I really need some money. Can you lend me some money? I said, sure, yeah, you can have. How much do you need? And he says, like $7,000. And that's what I have. And I'm like, well, what the risk is, and if I hold him under a contract, he's got to pay it, whatever. So I can give you $7,000. But, in a year's time, let's say when you pay me back in a year, you're actually going to pay me back 7,100, right? So, I'll lend you the $7,000, you pay me back 7,100 in a year. It's great. He says, sure, he takes that deal. Do you see what this looks like already? Now, these friends, they say, well, yeah, on paper, I'm making this. I got this, plus the 0.5% in my account. It's just numbers on a screen. It's great. So they're like, yeah, man, like, come over here, and these guys don't get any, sometimes they get referral bonuses, sometimes not. If you refer somebody, you get $20 if the guy invests, another $1,000 or $5,000. So more people, come to me and they're like, hey man, I really want that extra, little bit of money here. Well, let me put in, 10,000, and now, I'm on the books. I got the 7,000, which I don't really have because this guy now has it. And he has to pay me back in payments and chunks, installments, whatever you want to call it. But this guy's giving me $10,000. So really, like, my total is 17,000 if I think of that, And this guy's paying me back a little bit here and there with interest, of course. So really, I got like 70 or what was it? 17? Oh, that's an arrow. So I got 17,000, and then I actually got another $100 because this guy owes me the $100, and so it's great on paper, right? What does this look like to you? Does this look like some sort of Ponzi? Does it look like a pyramid scheme, or trying to get me into your thing because you can get $20 extra, which if it's part of doing business, I can claim it as a marketing expense if I pay somebody $20. It's not a big deal if I pay somebody $20 and they give me 10,000 more dollars to be responsible for, and then it kind of grows, and over time, let's say I'm not the only one that thinks of this. Let's say there's 5 other people in, let's say, Canada, because I'm in Canada, that think of this, and then really there's like 5 big entities, maybe 6 or 7, depends how many you think, but let's say there's 5 major ones, and I'm one of the 5. Right, of the ones that get super big, because it started in the 1900s, and now it's the 2000s, right? So now I'm responsible for, like, let's say I grew my business you know, this is a business idea for 100 years or 50 years or whatever. And now I'm, you know, in my bank account balance, I show that I have, let's say, $190 trillion because I grow so big. But do I have 190 trillion? Well, kinda. Like, I have the people that invested with me on one side, and then the people that I invest in on the other side that take money from me, that I charge them interest so that I can pay these guys over here. That really is like this person's money coming in, since I have to pay these guys. And if this guy wants to withdraw, where does the money come from? Well, it comes from this guy's money, because this guy's money's actually gone to this guy over here. So when money goes from one to another, you know, one investor to another, because there's not enough money in the pool, I don't have enough cash in the back. I think that's called a Ponzi. It's also called a bank. And this is a bank model. If you didn't see that already, this is how banks make money. They make money by lending their money, your money, to somebody else. And then when you want to take your money that they don't have, the next person up, you know, lines it up and comes back in, and that's your money. That's the definition of a Ponzi as well, right? Where you don't have it on paper, on digital numbers that I can just enter in whatever. Like, I own $17,000 worth of other people's money now. It's just a number that's in a database. It doesn't actually exist because it's actually lent out to all the people that have mortgages and all the people that have debt, credit card debt, or lines of credit, that type of thing. Do you see how, you know, a Ponzi and a bank are basically the same thing? It's not a great business model, because when all these people, and here's the best kicker, when all these people that invest in my bank, when they come to get their money all at once because they're scared and, you know, COVID or whatever, let's just make that whole thing illegal for them to all come at once, because that's called a bank run, and that's illegal. It's illegal because the bank doesn't have your money. And it's so interesting how the government says that you know, bank runs are illegal or whichever, and how that works. And these, you know, 5 over here are your 5 major banks in Canada that just gotten so big because they took a bunch of people's money and lent it out for, you know, money to make money. So basically it's money. And it's so interesting when people don't understand this is a business. A bank is a business, right? You take your money is in, let's say, air quotes, secure. This is air quotes. Your money's secure, but really your money's in somebody else's hands because they invested in somebody else. Hopefully they invested in something that has collateral, like a house, where if the person doesn't pay it, they just take their house, they sell it, they liquidate it, and then you get your money back. That's how that works. But it's so interesting when you think of banks like this, and this is why I don't really like banks at all. Credit unions are similar, in a similar fashion. They just aren't major and tell you where to put your money usually. You have more control over it. But really, it's like, do we even need banks? Especially with, you know, like crypto, like I'm talking about in my videos sometimes. Or do we need banks at all? What if everyone just had a safe and we didn't rely on banks, and banks didn't make money off us, and everyone paid for everything in cash and nobody had debt, right? Everything on this side is debt, is what they call it. And everything on this side is called investing or savings. And this number, the 0.5%, is your typical savings account. And, you know, where does the money come from? Do they print it? Or the government prints it? Or do they get it from other guys that they're charging 21% on? They keep the difference. They give you a measly 0.5% on. And they keep 20.5%. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand how this happened. I don't understand the mindset, and I don't understand how it's normal. How is a bank Ponzi normal? I have no clue. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with this. The business 3 is a bank model in a different term, in a different sense, visually, and how you can just see it's basically a straight up Ponzi is how that works, because they don't have the cash. They don't have your hard-earned cash. They have it in other things. They're trying to make money on your money, which, in my opinion, you should make money on your own money. They should be making money. This is where, you know, you get into investing, actual investing, not just a savings account, not through a bank, through an investing account, through an investing firm, investing through yourself. Anyway, that's the business 3. That's all I wanted to share. Thanks, and talk soon.